Hello and welcome to Criswell Automotive Field. It's neighborhood day. It's a packed house. And it's a packed house here in the booth as well. I'm Tyler Lochte, Sammy Krimstein, and David Lewis. We're all up here watching this really good team play baseball. And it's Deal on the mound. Will he deal tonight?
I mean, last time he came out and started a game, he did deal. That game was the shortened game against the Southern Maryland Senators. It was a game that finished in 7 innings, and Deal pitched 6 1/3 of them, striking out 7 Senators.
Yeah, and Deal's a guy I have not had the chance to see with my own eyes yet. Both of you guys have seen him pitch. He's had 3 starts so far in the season, and he's a guy I'm really excited to see. He's been just a starter for the Giants. That's been his role. That fastball top around 90. He features a cutter with some late action that I love. I am a huge fan of a good tight cutter. Also has a curveball, slider sitting around 78. So 4-pitch guy who can really command the strike zone, and when he's on, he can really deal. Pun intended, very much so.
Well, Sammy, you said that you have not seen Liam Deal pitch yet this year, but what you did see last night was the Giants tie a league record with 19 punch-outs. How deep is this pitching unit?
This pitching staff is ridiculously deep, Tyler. It keeps going and going because they also had a really nice outing on Monday night, last time they played the Braves, giving up only 2 hits, and then last night against the T-Bolts on the road, a whopping, 19 strikeouts? I mean, a ridiculous night for the staff. The bullpen really stepping up. Keegan Johnson had another incredible start. So it really gives you confidence if you're manager TJ Brockway, because you have a lot of guys that you can depend on in the bullpen. It's early in the season, still about halfway through, still not at that finish line, but a lot of really encouraging elements coming together for this Giants squad.
Leading off for the Braves, the center fielder number 13, Billy Flaherty.
So it's Billy Flaherty who will start us off. And again, this is, another thing that can give the Giants confidence is that they've played the Braves twice this year. David, they've only given up 1 run to them. They have been locked in. First pitch from Deal, a swinging strike. But again, David, when you play the same team and you hold them to just 1 run over the course of those 2 games, how much confidence does that give you that you can do it again?
Insane amount of confidence. And I mean, the only team that the Giants have yet to beat was the Aces, and their most recent meeting they came up just short in extra innings. So, I mean, this entire team should have a ton of confidence.
Yeah, you're right, David, no matter who they play. Now, speaking of the Aces, the Braves, they walked them off last night on a hit-by-pitch, 14-13, a great game of baseball. Here's the 2-1, popped up and foul.
Great game of baseball, but one that probably gave some people, the heart racing a little bit in that one. A 14-13 back-and-forth affair, and walk-off hit by pitch. I mean, it would have been a fun one to see.
There have been unbelievable games this year in the Cal Ripken League. 2-2 pitch will just miss outside. Barham White doing the catching tonight. Tyler DiMartino at first. Brady Powell at second. Tanner Vizendize at short. A.J. Martin at third. The full count pitch is upstairs for ball 4 across the outfield. Matthew Best in left. Leighton Lackey in center. Welcome back, Jacob Bunch in right.
So Deal starts things off with his 9th walk of the year. And we saw Keegan Johnson yesterday have some struggles in the first inning, but he bounced back after talking with the pitching coach, and that is what the Giants will have to see. I mean, that's what they've loved of these pitchers, is resiliency. They get in tough spots every now and again. Not every start has had the best first inning, but they're able to turn things around. So first at bat, a walk for Deal. We'll see if he can bounce back from that against a very good hitter in catcher Halligan.
Halligan is a guy who has haunted the Giants, especially last year. He'll hit this one in the air, left center field. Best is there. He will make the play, 1 out. It's a very loud out off the bat at 86 on a pitch that came in at 86. And Best did a good job of getting under it. He was practicing out there in left today during BP. You guys were smart. I was out there sweating my butt off, just running down balls in left with Best. One of the best guys on the team. Oh, absolutely. No doubt about that. Jack Pokarak at the plate. He will take. That's a strike. That's a really good pitch for Deal, who has seemed to settle back into things, David, after that leadoff walk.
Yeah, I mean, we do talk about settling back into things. Last night, Keegan Johnson had a rough first inning himself, giving up 2 runs and a lot of base runners. But, I mean, ultimately, the Giants finished up giving up the same amount of walks as hits at 7 apiece, and it's not great with that many base runners, but got the job done in that 6-5 win.
This is fouled back. It's 0-2.
Pokarak last night had himself potentially a game of a lifetime. 4 for 4, 3 home runs. And that's the second 3 home run game that this team has seen. Their pitcher, Parker Edwards, had 3 home runs a few weeks ago.
Yeah, Edwards is up to 4 now on the year. He just has not had that many at-bats. Runner goes, throw from White. He's good at catching them, and he will do it again. Barham White, unbelievable behind the dish at throwing out runners, and there's 2 away.
Tyler, I think the league needs to take note because I've seen Barham White catch 2 times this season so far, and both occasions he has thrown out base runners. They should not be running on him anymore. They need to know that he's not the guy who want to do that.
I don't think I've seen a runner this season get in safely on a play in which he threw. I mean, it's been, 8 or 9 times. I remember against the Big Train, it was either him or Kleiman, but whoever it was Kleiman threw out a guy, and it didn't even count. The Giants are so good at catching would-be base stealers, so they're good at punching guys out as well, as Deal will pick up the K, and we will head to the
Like, we might lose the game. All right.
I'm Tyler Lochte, David Lewis, Sammy Krimstein here with me. Giants just had the most Giants inning I've ever seen with a walk, a fly out, a caught stealing, and a K. I mean, that doesn't sum up the Giants. I don't know what will. Now we see a Giants offense with Brady Powell, who's had such a good year. He will stand in first against the home run threat, Parker Edwards. He will hit the first pitch he sees to short. The throw across is in time, and there's 1 away.
Hits it hard on the ground there. Had a really nice night last night in Silver Spring. He's now on a 4-game hit streak. Went 2 for 3 with 2 singles yesterday. I mean, Brady Powell, just a pure hitter. Hit it hard that time on the ground. No harm, no foul. And it's now going to move it to A.J. Martin, another Giant that has been playing really well as of late.
Yeah, he had a grand slam against Big Terrain. See what he can do here. He'll rip it right up the middle. Coming in is Flaherty. He'll make the play. And there is 2 outs on 2 pitches here from Edwards. He is not taking his time.
And as you mentioned, the home run threat is the designated hitter tonight for the Braves. A little Jack Caglione, Shohei Ohtani action, whatever you want to call it.
Kleiman takes inside. And I think that Kleiman really needed to take the first pitch, no matter where it was.
Oh yeah, 3-pitch first inning. That's not how you want to start things if you're the Giants.
No, it's not. 1-0. Kleiman will swing there and miss, and it's 1-1. Now again, Edwards, Sammy, is a guy who may be known more for his bat than his arm, but he is still a pretty talented guy on the mound. We'll get another strike there.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. He's thrown in 11 innings so far this year, 9 strikeouts, only 1 walk, and ERA below 2.5 at 2.45.
Yeah.
So, I mean, he's been just as good on the mound as he's been in the dish.
2-1 is outside. Excuse me, 1-2 is outside, down 2-2. Or is it 3-1? Let's see what the umpire will say. I think it's 2-2. Here's the pitch. Take it low for a ball. I guess it was 3-1, and it's a Giants walk.
Nothing like a 2-out walk if you're an offense. It's your worst enemy as a pitcher, but now it brings up DiMartino, a guy who did pick up a hit his last time out against Big Train, but has had a slow start to his season. He joined the team a little bit later. 16 at-bats, only 2 hits to this point.
I think that may have been a 3-pitch walk. I'm looking at the live stats, and it says ball, swinging strike, ball, ball. Very interesting. I was watching a YouTube video the other day.
If you're on YouTube, maybe go back and rewind it during the break and check us.
Swing and miss there by DiMartino. I was watching a YouTube video the other day, and it was on, 3-pitch walks, or 3 ball walks and 2 strikeouts.
It happens.
It does. It happens in the big leagues.
Yeah.
So you better believe it happens here. I think a scoreboard error in left confused the hitter. He took his base, and the ump did nothing about it. 2-1. Right up the middle. That'll get through. Kleiman will stop at second. DiMartino with a knock, and there's 2 on with 2 outs.
I don't think he could have split the infield any more evenly. I mean, that ground ball right over the second base bag. And now a little 2-out rally going for the Giants. It's going to bring up Jacob Bunch, who hasn't played in quite a minute. Good to see him back.
Yeah, he had that injury running down the line. And the game before, he had a huge homer off the scoreboard. That was in D.C. This kid's got ridiculous pop. He'll swing at the first pitch and pop it up. Giants hoping this gets out of play. I don't think it will. Oh, it's dropped by Edwards.
That's a tough play. Near the net, 2 guys coming in at the same time if you're the pitcher, Edwards. So not only are you worrying about running into the net, you're worried about 2 of your own players running into you. And, I mean, those high pop-ups, right, they have a lot of backspin. So tough to get under. As easy as it may look, I mean, in the big leagues, those guys make it look way too easy. It's not.
I just thought it was interesting that the pitcher Edwards called for that ball. I mean,
yeah.
You have 2 of the position players with bigger gloves running in the first baseman and the catcher, and the pitcher's the one that's called for it.
0-1. Bunch will swing and miss.
91 on the gun there, and that is the highest that we have seen Edwards at so far this evening.
Yeah, this is a really talented kid on the mound with both his arm and his bat. 0-2, Bunch down on strikes. And the Giants will strand 2. We will head to the second here in Gaithersburg. Parker Edwards, we just saw him pitch a scoreless inning. Now he will step into the plate. And Sammy, this guy's as dangerous as any hitter in this league. It's that simple.
Absolutely. His slash line, unbelievable.
He'll take for a ball.
Get this, 448, 596. He's slugging 1,000 on the year. Now, that's unreal stuff. And he's also been pitching really well.
Take a strike there, but yeah, slugging 1,000 essentially means he is on average singling in every at-bat this year. That is unbelievable. 1-1, he will take low. And now he's got extra motivation, David. He's on the mound. He can help his case in a big way right now.
Yeah, you do anything to help your case and give yourself more confidence on the mound.
A miss here. Well, that's the interesting thing, and I am the biggest, campaigner, I guess, for making pitchers hit again. I was talking to Tim Kirchin, of all people, a Maryland grad, about it. He agreed. He said, so much strategy is lost from the game, from pinch hitting. That ball's smoked down the line, right field. Looks like it's going to stay in. It will fall out of play. Stay in the yard, I meant. And it will, and it's a full count. But that's pretty impressive pop in that bat. We couldn't see how far it went because it was foul. But it left the bat at 88, opposite way, and it was hit down towards the Giants' pen in right.
Yeah, it's a lot of power. I mean, he stands at a towering 6'5", 215. I mean, this guy, serious power.
Full count pitch, ripped into left. That will fall in. So Edwards will pick up his single, the first hit that Deal is allowed tonight. And it's a leadoff man aboard for the Braves.
He just hung his breaking pitch that time, wanted it low in the strike zone, left it up, and a good hitter like Edwards is not going to let you get away with that one. He spits on it, hits it well to left.
Laura will take strike. Good response by Deal. You give up the hit, you find the zone on the first pitch. That sets you up well for this at-bat.
Absolutely, and it's important as a pitcher to be able to bounce back. That's what these Giants pitchers have been so good at this season.
Lowest team ERA in this league. This is hit foul down the right side. But that's a really interesting stat. You know, especially for all three of us. We were here last year. This is such a different team in every way.
And just the energy in the dugout, you can tell is different. Last night after the Thunderbolts win, it felt good. There was laughing, smiling, right? I mean, just celebrating. Good stuff.
0-2 on the ground, foul again. And, David, you do these post-game interviews. You kind of see the vibes of this team better than I would say either of us. I mean, what have you seen as this team is starting to come together here? We're starting to get to the middle of the summer.
I've just seen a lot of guys who, when they want to give credit, they give credit to everyone. Especially these starting pitchers as manager TJ Brockway figures out what the rotation exactly is.
This is crushed in the air, right field, and that is off the wall. Edwards is going to head for third. Into second base goes Cholera. He's got a double, and there's 2 on with nobody out here in the second. That ball was pieced. Middle fastball. Taken the other way at 295 feet.
And now trouble for Deal. 2 consecutive barrels that he has allowed. It's going to be Jaden Carter, the catcher who did play against the Giants on Monday when these two teams squared off, was 0 for 2 with 2 walks.
And it should be noted that in right field tonight is Jacob Bunch. And I'd love to get the answer to the question that I have in mind for him is when the last time he played in the outfield. He's a rostered catcher.
And he played first as well a little bit this year. That will miss low.
And the amount of ground he had to cover on that double was insane, as that was tailing away from him, unfortunately, for the Giants.
So Jaden Carter at the plate. This is a guy the Giants have seen a lot of this season. He's going to hit it foul. And right now, if you're Deal, Sammy, what do you do? I mean, you've got two in scoring position, nobody out. What are you trying to accomplish in this at-bat?
Well, you really have to go for the punch-out. I usually don't say that, but any ball in play has the risk of scoring a run. No score yet in this ball game. You have to keep it around the edges of the zone and try and get him to chase something.
Put one top outside corner.
That's a great pitch. That is exactly where he needs to be. Avoiding the middle of the strike zone, I think, is the mindset for Deal. But still keep it around the edges. That right there with the cutter, a perfect pitch.
Yeah, now the count's at 1-2. Deal can get that big-time punch-out right here. Instead, it's hit past Vizendize and into left. The throw home is going to be offline, and that's a 2-run single for Jaden Carter. And on that one swing, the Braves have more runs against the Giants than they did in the previous 19 innings this year.
More hits than they had all of Monday's ball game, just in 3 at-bats. Deal leaving out over the plate a little bit, and this Braves lineup hungry and taking advantage. They scored 14 runs, a whopping 14 runs yesterday in a long ball game, and they are looking for more. This is a lineup that comes into this one a little bit hotter than they came into the game on Monday.
So Jamie Laskovsky, the shortstop, will stand in. He will take that pitch upstairs. So runner on first base. Deal will look at him. Now look home. That will miss inside.
Down now to 2-0. That's a bit concerning for Deal, who's now given up 3 straight hits.
I think it's actually 3-0. Could be wrong. Let's see. It's a strike. Doesn't matter. But again, you've got Carter on first base. He's got the oven mitt. He wants to run.
Do you want to run, though, with Barham White back there? I don't think so.
No, you don't. Simple answer is absolutely not with that guy behind the dish. That will be a perfect pitch there. Gets the bottom of the zone. Now, Sammy, you were saying for Deal, he's got to avoid throwing stuff middle. He will put that middle low and just clip the bottom. That fools Laskovsky for strike 2.
Absolutely. Good pitch.
2-2 popped up. It's called off by Powell. He will make the play. And that's the first out here in the second.
And that's basically the same spot as that last pitch you were talking, Tyler. You know, low, middle, but instead he uses the breaking ball, the off-speed pitch, gets him out in front, he pops it up. Good stuff from Deal, trying to limit damage here in the second.
This is hit hard to second. Powell the flip. The throw from Vizendize. Giants turn another double play. And Deal will get out of it after getting roughed up a little bit at the beginning of that inning. We will head to the bottom of the second. Offense with work to do here from Welcome back. At best, we'll stand in.
Bess has not appeared for the Giants since the 15th. That was last weekend against the Grays. It's 2 for 4 then. This will be my first time seeing him.
He will take outside. Yeah, again, Bess is one of the nicest dudes on this team. He's been one that I've talked to a lot. He had a really good day against DC. I remember that vividly. Had a homer in that game, and I think he scored like 5 runs or something. He'll hit this ball in the air to right, and that will fall in out of the reach of Halligan. And that's a single for Matthew Best.
Really good job of just waiting for the outside pitch to get deep into the strike zone and just getting the barrel to it. Not trying to pull it, not trying to hit it too hard. Just a good piece of hitting to get things started in the second. And the Giants will need some more of that now, down 2 runs.
That will get away from the catcher Carter. And to second base goes Best. You'll take that.
Good job by Best there, picking that ball in the dirt up and getting a good jump on it. We haven't seen the Giants be consistently aggressive on the base paths. It's kind of been up and down when it comes to steals. I believe Cade Hentz is still leading the team in steals.
That's side and side. There to Barham White.
White with a 2-run shot last time he played this team on Monday night.
Inside that time. So it's 3-0 now to White. You got a runner on second base. I mean, this could be a big chance for the Giants to get it going. That's a strike, bottom of the zone, at 90 miles an hour. Tanner Vizendize is next. 3-1 pitch. White swings and misses. That's another one that just will clip the outside piece of the zone. And now if you're White, you got to protect from 3-0 to 3-2. This has been a well-pitched at-bat by Edwards to get back into it.
That's what Edwards is going to do to you. You're never out of the at-bat.
White takes low. That is a really good at-bat from the Giants backstop, and there's 2 on.
We've seen a lot of patient at-bats and a lot of good 2-strike approaches last night in Silver Spring that Sammy noticed, I noticed especially. These guys, they're not always in that protect mindset when they get 2 strikes on them. They're ready to hit just the same.
This is a righty-dominant lineup against the righty pitcher. And Vizendize will hit this one in the air to right. Halligan will make the catch. Everybody's going to stay put. 1 away. Now it's Leighton Lackey, the switch hitter.
It looked like Best at second base. Thought that one was going to be down for a base hit. Kind of went out to the outfield on a line. You wonder if he maybe saw there was a little more upward trajectory on it. He would have tagged at second base. But regardless, I doubt he's getting in there. Pretty shallow in right field, that ball's caught.
Yeah, I agree with you, Sammy. Pretty shallow out in right. I don't think it would have been wise to go.
I will take outside. So the lineup will flip over after Lackey back around to Powell. So that makes this a pretty big at-bat. You want to try to give those guys at the top of the order a chance. Lackey will hit this hard down the line and just foul. He just missed extra bases and maybe 2 runs.
And it's a busted bat for Lackey, too. Gonna have to go get that one. It's just off the end of the bat.
And that one was right where he wanted it. Just a few inches left of the line.
Lackey's got to get a new bat fresh out of the box.
Man, this is going to be a brand new piece of lumber.
Well, this is tough because, you wonder how much grip this new bat has.
Guys will typically like to wear them in
Right.
a little bit. I mean, especially with these wood bats, right?
But it does throw off the timing of Edwards the same. So Lackey will step back in there with 2 on and 1 out, a 1-1 count. Pitch home. Outside. And again, you wonder if that timing for Edwards was thrown off on that little delay there as Lackey went to retrieve a new piece of wood. Two one. Lackey will hit it high in the air down the left field line. And it's another foul ball that will just miss. And you know it just missed because TrackMan picked up the distance. I'm kind of surprised that Calera didn't get there to make the catch. If it was that close, I cannot see down that line. There's a tree in the way.
Had a lot of air under it. And sometimes that baseball, when it's hit down the line, it'll curve towards the foul pole. It'll keep going that way. So you wonder if maybe it had that sort of effect on it, got away from Calera in left field.
I think it landed on grass and not over the fence because of the way that the umpire signaled that it was foul. Lackey will take just outside there. That's a really good take to push this count full. David, this is a guy who's been taking really patient at-bats all year long.
Yeah, he's got a really well-trained eye. He can see the ball to the pitcher's hand really well, no matter if it's righty or lefty. And him being a switch hitter just makes it that much better.
Lackey's going to hit it high in the air, right side. Long run for Halligan. And that will fall in. And there's going to be a play at the plate. Best is safe. He didn't stop running. That's great hustle for Matt Best, and Lackey will score him on an RBI single. I thought no way he would round for home. The way everybody else was just kind of standing around. That is aggressive base running, a nice send by Coach Austin Grass, and the throw is just late. Giants just steal the run.
Well, David, you mentioned last inning how Bunch playing right field for the Giants is not there by trade. Halligan dealing with the same thing. He usually plays first base, so maybe it's a tricky time in right field adjusting on defense.
And now it's Brady Powell. There's nowhere to hide against this Giant team as the lineup will flip over.
Well, yeah, in the blink of an eye, you got 2 base runners for one of their best hitters.
I was always ready to swing. Not there, though. Of course, as soon as I say that, he takes a strike, and it's 1-1.
It's the way of the world. The infamous announcer's jinx.
He'll swing here, hit it off the top of the net.
And the power combined with the short stature of Brady Powell has earned him the nickname of Mini Pekka. Some people might recognize from Clash of Clans.
That's one of my favorite nicknames.
That's a great nickname.
Yeah, it works for him.
Didn't find that out until last night in Silver Spring with Jackson Bauer mic'd up.
That gets away. Runners are going to move up. No throw from Carter. There's 2 in scoring position now for Gaithersburg.
This feels like an opportunity that you don't want to squander. I mean, the Braves are laying out on a silver platter a chance for the Giants to get the lead right back after losing it in the top of the inning.
Infield in. 2-2. Powell takes outside, and this count is full.
What I'm really going to be looking for here is Lackey at second base. Has a lot of speed, and I could see him scoring on even something shallow into the outfield. Big lead over there.
Full count pitch. Powell's going to hit it in the air, right center field. Long run for Flaherty. He'll make the catch. He's going to throw to third. What a throw it is. It's just late. But scoring is White. And Powell will drive in another run. It's 2-2.
Brady Powell keeps getting it done. knowing the situation, right? Being a good hitter isn't just hitting the ball hard. It's not just getting barrels. It's being a good situational hitter. That time, his job was to lift the ball into the air, score the run, and he did just that. Did what his team called for him to do. That's selfless hitting, and that's one of the reasons I really love what Brady Powell has done for the Giants this summer.
And Sammy, you mentioned the speed by Lackey to get in there with that throw was just amazing. I mean, that would have been an inning ender, and
That was a dot from center.
A gorgeous slide, I may add. Head first into third base for Lackey. Nothing like a beautiful head first slide.
That was just really good baseball, is what that was. I mean, that was
Yeah.
Powell
Both sides.
did his job. He sent it into the outfield, and then Flaherty did a good job to run it down. And now we may have a question of, did a Giant leave before the catch? And that would be crushing
Yeah.
for Gaithersburg. The run would count unless if it was White who left early. But if it was Lackey,
Seems like a tough one to overturn without video replay.
it's tough. But
Yeah.
again, remember, the throw to the base to get the out would have happened after the run was scored if it was Lackey who left early.
So regardless, it should be 2-2 ball game.
I think we're just going to go back to our spots. I am not quite sure what happened there. Doesn't appear that anything is changed, as Martin will still be at the dish. And if you're AJ Martin, you're hunting a base knock right now, trying to give your team the lead. All right.
Back at it? Question mark, maybe? Hopefully.
So again, with 2 outs, no sacrifice here. You need Martin to drive a ball through the infield. He will take inside and low, and it's 1-0.
Martin, a guy who just continues to hit. And when I talked to him the other day, just a lot of confidence this guy carries. That's one of my favorite things about him.
Martin will swing and miss there. Yeah, he does have a lot of confidence. I know, Sammy, you know, in your interview with him after the game, he was pretty cocky the way that he was talking about that grand slam. I believe the term he used was he dealt with that ball. And he will lift this one in the air, right center. Halligan trying to get under it. He will. But not before the Giants tie this game 2-2, as we are through to after Liam Deal found a way to work through what was a bit of a difficult second inning. His offense rewarded that effort with 2 runs to tie the game, and now it's a clean slate for Deal, as he will face Zach Scott, the last Braves hitter. And again, David, in a spot like that where you have your slate wiped clean after your mistake, how big is that for a pitcher and his confidence?
It's just short-term memory and getting back to what Deal wanted to do from the start. It's a brand new ball game, and in essence, it's 0-0, and the guy who's leading off this inning is their 9-hole hitter.
We'll rip this one foul.
Scott, only 3 hits and 18 ABs this season, has walked 9 times to just 4 strikeouts, so a guy who has still found ways to get on base for the Braves.
1-2 to Scott, will hit it hard. Powell bobbles, throws in time. Good job by Brady Powell there to keep his composure and make that play.
Well, and that's the beauty of playing second base, is that you have time to bobble it a little bit. At shortstop or third base, he's probably not able to make that play with the length of the throw that you have to make, but at second base, no need to rush anything. You bobble a little bit, no problemo, picks it up, throws it to first. Routine play after that.
That will miss high. And again, you have a big opportunity if you're the Giants. I believe the Crop Dusters lost tonight. They did 5-1. That's in their first strike. But again, that 5-1 loss now means that the Giants can get some breathing room in this division if they could win here tonight. That will miss. But, the big train, their struggles, we've talked about them. And then you see, the Giants just keep playing winning baseball. I mean, they have been the hottest team in the league over these last few days. That's a swing and miss.
Yeah, and they're just doing the little things the right way. Base running, defense, bullpen pitching. All the things that last year were maybe not going their way are going their way this year.
This is hit hard at Powell again. He will field it much cleaner and throw on target. And Brady Powell has made 2 nice plays at second base here in the third.
And that one was especially nice, as the camera may not have picked it up, but it came off the cut of the infield grass and just died. And for a second, I thought it was going to get under his glove, but a good job by Powell to keep that ball in front of him for the second straight time.
Yeah, Cade Hentz has made it pretty clear that playing this infield is really tough with the grass being very unpredictable. I'm not going to exactly say how he worded it, but let's just say he's not a fan of the bounces that infielders here have to deal with. Now, that's the case for both teams. And for the Giants, I guess that's an advantage because they can get used to it. And Powell makes a nice play there.
Sammy and I saw in Silver Spring last night in the first inning, Matthew Kim, their T-Bolt's second baseman, had to deal with a crazy hop. It went over his head on a ball that only was going 2 feet off the ground to begin with, and then all of a sudden it's completely over his head and into the outfield.
That's one of the cool things about this league, is that each field really does have its own personality, unique characteristics you have to take into account. Some fields play better than others, but they all have kind of different quirks that you have to consider as a player.
Yeah, it is interesting because, you have a wide range of fields. You have fields with really long grass. I feel like Olney is one of them. And then you got a turf field for DC. That's off the end of the bat and foul.
Another weird quirk here at Criswell is you wouldn't really know it, but when you play the outfield, especially in right field, it goes down on a hill ever so slightly, where it makes it a little tough to even see home plate. It's very subtle, but back from playing here for a few years, it definitely can play with your mind a little bit.
That's very interesting.
Yeah, and it's when you go out, it's very, very subtle, but can definitely have an impact. And it's just things like that the more you play, that's why it's good playing at home. You know everything to a T.
Yeah,
how
Sammy,
far you have to run to the pole.
Home field advantage, it's big.
It's huge. It really is. I mean, because you're used to it. It's your everyday. It's your routine. So it's after a really successful road trip for the Giants. It is good to be back here in good old G-Burg.
Popped up and into the net, and this is a nice little at-bat here by catcher Halligan. Obviously, we know what he can do, but he's
More like what
he
he can't do.
Right. He's proving to be, every time the Giants play him this year, such a tough out.
Even last year, I mean, he was just as good for the Braves.
Popped up again and foul. This is an unbelievable AB.
And Sammy, going back to what you said, how it's downhill, and I find it kind of interesting because Leighton Lackey in center field has to deal with something at Clemson that I'm not a huge fan of. It's the warning hill that they have at Clemson. Instead of a warning track, when you get near the wall, you actually go up a small incline.
Interesting. So I'm not familiar. So is this like what the Astros used to have?
Yeah,
Oh,
it goes
wow.
all the way around the outfield wall.
This is popped up. Left side of the infield, Vizendize, the shortstop, will make the catch. And Deal will get through an inning with no balls leaving the infield. You'll take that any day of the week. And we will head to the bottom of the third. Giants trying to take the lead here on the Giants broadcast.
Deal's done, I'll definitely run down there.
Designated hitter number 17, Brendan Kleiman.
Brendan Kleiman, who had one of the best rounds I've ever seen of BP. He sent 3 balls over the wall and left at a ground rule double as well. He will swing and miss there. Obviously very different from in-game pitching, but some days you're just seeing the ball better.
You really are. He walked his last time. You got to imagine he is just waiting to see something over the plate.
Take another strike there. He is quickly behind 0-2 here against Parker Edwards. Edwards got him. That's a nod of the head from Kleiman. He does not argue that pitch. That was just a well-pitched AB from the man on the mound. So now it's Tyler DiMartino's turn. He turned on a ball, sent it into the outfield for a single. And now he will face Edwards, who is pitching with some frustration, it seems. Now, here's a guy who, again, he gave up 2 runs last inning. And we saw Deal find a way to hang a 0. Let's see if Edwards can do the same. That will miss high. It's now 3-0 to DiMartino.
So far, it's been a pretty parallel game from these teams. Quick first innings. They both do damage, get 2 runs in the second. And you look at the scoreboard, 2 runs, 3 hits for both teams.
That's cheeky there from DiMartino as he shows bunt 3-0. Just trying to do whatever he can to get into Everett's head. And it works not on the pitch where he showed bunt, but the one after. DiMartino has now reached in both of his PAs. That's something that you see guys do. I saw it a lot in softball, calling softball this year in Maryland. It's an interesting thing, but what do you guys think of showing bunt on a 3-0 pitch, just trying to get into Everett's head?
Well, I think a lot. Sometimes it could also be. I mean, yes, it definitely gets in the pitcher's head. Sometimes you're also trying to draw, for whatever reason, the corner infielders in or out. Sometimes you'll be doing that with runners on base, which I really love. But yeah, I mean, it's as a pitcher, right? I mean, you're so locked in on the catcher's
You have to throw it in the zone. It's a 3-0 pitch.
You got to throw it in the zone, and yeah, it's certainly a way to get in their head. I really like it.
And it may just be mental, but I feel like it makes the zone appear smaller than it is. So now you got a huge bat at the dish with bunch. And you got a runner on and one out. Now we'll just get the inside piece of the plate. This is a guy in bunch. It only takes one swing. He's probably the most consistent home run hitter in BP on this squad. 1-2, strike 3 called. He goes inside, then he goes outside and gets bunch. That is his second backwards K of this half inning.
I've really liked Edwards working side to side today with his pitches. He is, I want to say, 75-80% of the time been on the outer half of the strike zone. But when he goes inside, it lets him go back outside the very next pitch, and it just changed the hitter's eye level.
Bouncer in, Carter keeps it in front of him, and that will keep DiMartino at first base.
Yeah, good block, Carter. A tough one, really. Had to swing his body around the baseball to get it.
I'll be taken low and inside, and it's Matthew Best at the plate. Runner on first, 2 outs for number 22. Best will take a strike. Scores around the league. We already talked about the Crop Dusters losing. They lost 5-1 at DC today. Big Train losing at home. That will miss inside. They're down 3-0 to Southern Maryland. I don't know what is going on with the Big Train this year, but they're always seemingly the favorites. A swing and miss there at a 3-1 pitch.
I mean, the interesting thing is that we've seen them get into these deficits a lot, the Big Train, and they somehow make a game out of it. So
it's always a close game.
Yeah.
You're right. It is always close with them. DiMartino's going to go. It doesn't matter. That's up high, and there is a 2-out walk for Matt Best. So 2 walks in this inning. Now it's Barham White's turn. And I always root for White to be able to do something because that means we can interview him. And he is as fun of a guy as it gets on this team. I am so excited for his mic'd up game.
Oh, yeah. And coming all the way from Louisiana, far away here to the DMV.
Yeah, great teammate, a great catcher, as he has put on display so far tonight.
And a great Southern accent, too.
Yeah.
It's so funny talking to him.
It is. He is just a cool guy to get to know. And he's going to hit this well in the air, center field, and it's off the wall. Run will score. Best is sent home. He's going to have to get down, and he's in there. A 2-run double for Barham White, and it's 4-2 Giants.
In a really good piece. He's been watching the pitcher, Edwards, knows that he's going to deliver something outside. He does once again. He waits, outer half, blasts it into the right center gap. And the Giants are just playing good baseball, taking advantage of opportunities. They did right there, and now they're up 2 runs in a game where they were down 2 runs not that long ago.
It's 350 feet to center field, and Barham White just hit that 349. So he just missed a homer. But you'll take that if you're the Giants. It's a 2 spot for the second straight inning, and now the Giants are looking for more. Can Vizendize deliver that? He will hit it over the head of Scott. White will be sent home. The throw home is away. Vizendize will take off for second. Giants do damage with 2 outs again. It's 5-2. I don't think there's a better team in this league when there's 2 away.
And what I loved on that last play was the aggression from the third base coach to send Barham White home, knowing that Halligan in right field hasn't played there that much this season, knowing that the arm isn't going to be as great as some other guys. So he takes the risk and it pays off.
Now it's Lackey. Giants are saying, hey, we're not done here. We got another guy in scoring position. Lackey can bring him around with a base hit. And he will swing and miss there. His eyes got wide as the off-speed pitch came in.
Yeah, I mean, the Giants were down in a hole in this inning. 2 quick outs and a walk. And then they string a few hits together, and now all of a sudden they're up 3 runs. That's good baseball.
It is. It's really good baseball. Lackey will take. Gets the top of the zone. And yeah, this is the Giants team. GNQ on the back of their shirts, and that doesn't just apply to every game. I mean, that applies to every inning as well. Lackey will hit this hard down the line in left and just foul. It was middle, came in at 90, and Lackey was just late.
Yeah, and Lackey, he's had a few nice pieces foul today. He's been swinging it hard, getting some barrels, hoping to straighten it out one of these times and get one to find the grass and play.
That will miss outside 2-2. So Leighton Lackey at the dish. Tanner Vizendize is on second. And Lackey high in the air. I think it's too high in the right. Halligan back. He'll make the catch. But not before the Giants take the lead. 5-2 as we will head to
Alright, bringing us back.
I'm Tyler Lochte. David Lewis, Sammy Krimstein is up here with us, and we have got ourselves a nice little ball game here, 5-2. So we will see the Braves come to bat. That will miss high and inside there to Jack Pokerak.
Pokerak K'd his first time.
He will foul this one away. It's 1-1.
And Deal, as we mentioned on this broadcast, but did a really good job bouncing back after a tough second inning. But, you know, the first inning, 3 up, 3 down. Third inning, 3 up, 3 down.
And this is hit hard at Powell. A chance for him to make another play. And he will do just that. Now, David, it seems to me like Brady Powell has kind of simplified his throwing motion. He knows he doesn't really need to rush it to first. He doesn't need to throw it that hard, and it's worked for him.
Yeah, I mean, that's his fourth putout of the game, if you include his contribution on the double play to end the top of the second inning. And he's had a pretty nice day defensively, and we saw a couple errors in that first game at DC. And since then, he's really, calmed down and been able to make good throws and reduce his errors. I think he's only had one since then.
This is hit hard up the middle. Nothing that Powell can do there. That's a nice piece of hitting for Parker Edwards. It was only a matter of time, you kind of felt, for Edwards to come back around again. I mean, he had that single, first hit of the game for his squad. He came around to score. And I feel like especially on days where he is pitching, and we will talk to Dash Tischler, or I guess Braves correspondent at this point in the bottom half of this inning, more about Edwards as he will be on the mound. But I'm going to guess that he hits better when he's also pitching because he kind of feels that urgency, especially in a game like this where it's 5-2. He's, his most trusted option to get his team back into it because he knows he can control it, Sammy.
Well, I mean, I think it's one of his earlier starts this season. I mean, helped himself out with 3 home runs. I mean,
yeah,
that nothing better than being your own best friend as a pitcher.
That's one way to do it. Yeah, absolutely right. Let's find the zone. Colera at the dish. He had a big-time double. Then he came around to score on the 2-run single by Jaden Carter. A check on first, no trouble there for Edwards. Liam Deal's got one out, and he has middle infield. It doesn't matter if it's Vizendize, Powell, or Cade Heads. All 3 of them have turned double plays at a ridiculous rate this year. A.J. Martin in there as well. A miss outside. But, David, I think that Deal's done a good job tonight of keeping the ball on the ground. I mean, he's created opportunities for ground outs all over the field.
Yeah, we've seen him, especially right at Brady Powell, the second baseman, but, a couple pop-outs and fly-outs, very soft contact.
This is hit hard at Powell. Chance for 2. Vizendize. They've done it again. Unbelievable what this Giants infield can do. Another double play and another scoreless inning for Deal. We will step away. Dash Tischler will join us when we come Great name. All right, let's come back. So David Lewis has left us. He's down there interviewing Barham Light right now, but we're still a three-man booth. I'm sorry, Lochte. Sammy Krimstein is with me, and welcome back to the booth, Dash Tischler. Great to have you back, buddy. After you did color for a whole game here, despite working for the Braves.
Thank you. No place I'd rather be in this evening than the booth, and glad to be back with you guys.
So Parker Edwards is out of this game, and when I was saying about how he hits better when he pitches, you were nodding your head. He's had a good night at the plate, 2 hits, but on the mound, not what he wanted, and Tyler Fetterman will come in to replace him.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because for Parker Edwards, I think tonight the Giants have probably seen it better than any team has seen him this year so far. I mean, this guy's been pretty dominant, and credit to this Giants offense for being able to get a few runs off him. I would imagine he'll stay in the game. When I've spoken to him, he said that he loves doing pitcher and DH on the same day.
Yeah.
And I think, certainly it's a happy place for him. He has a pretty good chance to stay in the game here, but we'll see.
Every two-way guy I've ever talked to says they love hitting for themselves, and that it is a big opportunity, for them to help their case. He's done just that. Powell will swing and miss. Here's the 1-1. That will miss outside. Find the bottom of the zone.
A little bit of a fun fact for you gentlemen. Tyler Fetterman does not hit in college, but he has hit for the Braves this summer. So he could be in as pitcher DH.
A swing and miss there, and hey, that's a pretty good start for Fetterman. He will get one of the Giants' top bats, and Brady Powell out.
Yeah, Fetterman.
I will say, Dash, your Brave staff, you guys do punch out a lot of guys. I've seen that today, and that's what you need against a team like the Giants, who's always a threat, getting the ball in play.
Absolutely.
This is hit well down the line, and foul. But when you face guys like Brady Powell, A.J. Martin, who hit a grand slam against the big train 400 feet over the scoreboard, there's a lot of power in this Giants team. That'll miss high and away.
Yeah, it's certainly a tough matchup. I will say Fetterman, a guy who I had my eye on as a potential rising star this summer. And I'd say so far he has lived up to the billing for sure.
It's kind of funny, you said maybe the Braves will keep him in the game and hit for his spot.
Yeah, I mean, we will see because Edwards has done well tonight.
Yeah, Edwards is, I would say, one of the better hitters in this league, and it's just that he happens to be a pitcher. Now, you said he doesn't play in the field in college.
Well, Edwards does, but Fetterman does
Fetterman.
not.
Okay,
Fetterman does
I
not.
understand that.
However,
yes. A swing and miss there by Martin, and this count is full.
Fetterman has played in the field for the Braves.
Okay.
And Coach Chris Warren put him back in the field. He's actually hit a home run this year. So another pitcher who
Well,
makes
with that
stuff.
ballpark, I'm sure that was hitting Lorton.
It was.
Yeah. Look, I'm not complaining about that because we have nothing down the lines here. It feels like a lot of the homers are either just an absolute nuke or you got to hit it to center. And it was nice going down to Lorton, seeing some big flies leave the yard. Martin will draw a walk. But the Braves play a really fun style of baseball, I think, just because the ballpark allows for it.
Yeah, I will say it is interesting, though, because last year they were very much a small ball team. This year the bats are there, and, 3 of the top home run hitters in the league are Braves. You have Edwards and Jack Pokrack on 4, catcher at 3.
And you have to give your coach, I think, a lot of credit for that, for just adjusting to the ballpark. I mean, you have, a unique park, and it seems like your coach has gotten guys who can kind of fit what can win them.
Absolutely. And the culture is great around the team.
0-1, that will find the zone.
We have 12 returners this year. Probably, I think, the most the Braves have ever had in a season.
So you've got guys who, know Braves baseball, and then you got the new crop of guys who are coming in and kind of playing that baseball to suit it. Now, Sammy, you were here with me last year, and we all remember that Braves doubleheader that got them into the playoffs. But this year, it's been very different when these two teams have met.
Well, yeah, I mean, I was there obviously Monday as well, and the Giants, a pretty dominant effort.
That's off the glove of Fetterman. There's one. Throw to first is in time. That's beautiful defense from the Braves. Dash, can you stick with us for just one more half inning?
Absolutely, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
Back up here in the booth, Tyler Lochte, Sammy Krimstein, David Lewis is just kind of hanging out as well. And Dash Tischler's back for another half inning. So Dash, now we can have you kind of talk through each of these Braves hitters. We've got Jaden Carter, who was here last year, one of those many returning guys. And he's got the biggest hit today for the Braves. What do you like about his approach at the plate?
Jaden's a guy who last year was a rising freshman, and he already showed really impressive maturity at the plate for a guy that young, getting his first taste of college ball, and that's carried over. You saw earlier a big hit. He's a guy you can trust in any situation.
Well, again, this is a Brave squad that did make the playoffs last year. They have a lot of new guys, and they're playing good baseball. And I think that Carter definitely has something to do with that, Dash, in the sense of, he knows what's expected. He knows kind of the routine of things. I'm sure he's helping out the younger guys as he once was last year.
100%. He's also a guy who I've heard at least one pitcher talk specifically about his role and his success.
That will miss.
And I would bet you there are others who share that same opinion. Jaden's absolutely a guy who's a huge asset to this Braves team, and it's telling that a team with a lot of catcher depth, he's getting regular appearances.
Yeah, it kind of seems like every time we play the Braves, it's Carter behind the plate.
Yeah.
And you said it's a team that has a few guys to pick from. It seems like Carter is the option in big-time games, and he will take there for strike two.
He sure is. And I would say, and even tonight, there's two catchers in the lineup, Kalura in the outfield tonight. It's not like there aren't good catchers on this team. It's not like Carter just gets a spot by default. He really earns it.
He will take there, and that is a really well-worked leadoff walk for Jaden Carter. So he's now reached in both of his appearances, and now it's Jamie Laskovsky's turn. The shortstop, we just saw what he can do in the field. Dash seems like, the Giants, they turned two twice, and then the Braves are saying, hey, we could do that too, and Laskovsky with a really nice turn there.
Yeah, and he's another guy who's really promised young player.
And he'll hit this well in the air, left field, Best running over, and he makes a nice play in the gap. A pieced up ball, 93 off the bat, but Matt Best read that really well, gets over in time. And now we will see Nolan Book.
And Book, yeah, another one of the talented young guys. This is kind of the talented young guys section of the order. Book, a rising freshman. He's headed to Mount St. Mary's in the fall. And he's another guy who lately he's been getting a lot of at-bats. He's been doing some really nice work. So he's another rising star. There's a lot of good youth on this Braves team.
Yeah, it's cool to see guys playing in the Cal Ripken League that have not yet played college ball. You're only allowed to have a certain number of guys who fit that bill. This is hit hard to second. Chance for 2 again. The throw from Powell. It's there! And the Giants turn 2 for the 3rd time tonight and deal with a big smile on his face. Dash, thank you so much for joining us here again. We got to do this every time the Braves come to town. We might have Jack Bowman join you if he ever decides to show his face. But thank you so much, and we will be back for the bottom of the 5th on the bottom.
Yeah.
The first baseman, number 33, Tyler DiMartino.
Tyler DiMartino will stand in, and joining us is David Lewis. David, you spoke to Barham White. What did he have to say after his big-time knock?
I mean, all he had to say was that he didn't change his approach or anything in that 2-out deficit. I mean, and that's kind of been the mentality of this Giants team is even though there might be 2 outs on the board, they don't let that get to them and they continue their aggressive approach.
Find the bottom of the zone. Yeah, you're right, David. I mean, all year long, the Giants have done 2 things really well. That's 2-out hitting, and that's turning double plays in the infield, and foul tip there. But, you know, we've seen that on full display tonight. By the way, a lot of credit to Liam Deal. He had that rough second inning, but now a 3rd double play to get out of another inning. It has just been pretty funny to watch. A check swing there by DiMartino. Did he go?
Oh.
Yes, he did, and then Carter throws it into the outfield.
Unfortunate for DiMartino, but DiMartino actually walked into the Barham White interview on our Twitter and said, because he's got that dog in him, well, along those lines.
Was it PG? Do we need to
Oh, no,
edit?
it was PG. It was
Okay.
PG. He
When
knew
you
the
said
camera
along
was
those
wrong.
lines, I got scared.
Well, because I didn't remember exactly what he said, because it was a small little adage, and then he walked back into the dugout. But, you know, it's really nice to see, especially for DiMartino, who is a late addition to, you know, already be...
Both of them
Yeah.
are late additions.
Both of them to, you know, already, you know, have that nice, you know, morale factor between the 2 of them and all across the dugout, too.
Yeah, I've got to say, I think those 2 guys stand out to me. in the dugout as good teammates in the sense of, they're really supportive of the other guys on this team, and obviously they do their part as well.
Yeah.
But, I mean, for guys who came late, who don't really have as much time with the rest of their group to be that bought in, I think it's really cool to see. And I think, you got to give credit to TG Brockway. You got to give credit to our GM, Matt Kangas, for picking guys who, want to be here and want to get the most out of the summer. And Bunch will swing and miss there. My goodness, is Fetterman impressed since coming in.
Yeah, so far he's only seen 5 batters. If he gets best here the next at bat, that'll be 6 up, 6 down, just about. I mean, walk and a double play last inning.
Absolutely. So Matt Best at the dish. Can never count out the Giants with 2 outs. That's a pitch that will miss just outside.
Yeah, that's where they did some damage back in the 3rd. So, yeah, you're right, Tyler. Do not count him out.
This is hit well up the middle. Would you believe it? Another 2-out hit. This time it's Matt Best who delivers a single. And he has now reached for the 3rd time. He's 2 for 2 with a walk. And Sammy, he has come around to score on very aggressive sends on both of his trips around the bases tonight. Could we see it again?
I would sure love to see it again. And that's just a testament to, one, he's been getting on base, 2 singles now and a walk, and they really trust his ability to run on the base paths.
Does not yet have that oven mitt on, and he's already ready to go. Barham White is in there. White has reached twice as well. A walk and a 2-run double, the biggest hit of the game for the Giants so far.
Well, how about this bottom half of the order? Best is now on for his 3rd time. White has been on 2 times.
Lackey.
Yeah, Lackey with a hit.
Swing and miss there by Barham.
And that's one of the big differences we've been talking about from last year to this year. It's been the depth in any lineup the Giants are putting out. 1 through 9, everyone is getting the job done.
Runner goes. White will foul that off. That was a 50-50 pitch. You have to swing in it with 2 strikes and 2 outs. But, last year it was a fun dugout. I think that we can attest to that. There was a lot of characters, we could say.
A lot of the same people, too. A lot of returns.
There's a few, I think pitching-wise, there's a lot of turnover. Or there's a lot of guys that are back that will be taken high. But, I do think that winning kind of helps the guys get bought into the results a bit more and care about every pitch. Best is going to take off again, and White will swing and miss. And that will end this 5th inning. So the Giants get 1 on, they will leave him on, and we will head to Good for me.
All right, whatever.
The second baseman, number 30, Zach Scott.
Zach Scott, the second baseman. He was a part of a nice double play turn, and he will now take his second AB. Just such an odd night on the mound for Deal, who comes back out there because he has been knocked around a little bit, but he's only faced one batter more than the minimum. Or excuse me, two batters more than the minimum. And those two batters scored. So the Giants have seen the Braves not leave a single man on here tonight. And they have 4 hits and 2 walks. That is ridiculous.
Yeah.
That is actually, I don't think I've ever seen that. 2-0, Scott. Dize can't make the play.
All right, but we know what's up next.
Right.
A double play. A double play, it's inevitable.
He's either going to
feel
get
like
thrown out trying to steal,
Right.
or he's going to get doubled
It's
up.
going to be a double play. I mean, and it's a testament to good situational pitching, right? Getting ground balls when you have a runner at first base. And all season, it's just been really good middle infield defense. Really good defense all the way around, but especially up the middle for the Giants.
So the lineup will flip over to Flaherty. Flaherty walked it and he grounded out to second base. If I did not feel like a glazed donut right now, just sweat-wise, this would be a pretty nice night. Sun's gone down. There's a bit of a breeze. It's still 86, but I mean, it is the first day of summer. What do you expect?
Yeah, yesterday the longest day of the year in terms of daylight. Now
Yeah,
it's
sunset's supposed to set until 8:38. That's the one thing I don't like about baseball is, it's over the summer, and there's not much time spent under the lights.
Okay,
Like
I'll
even at a
disagree with you
7
on
p.m.
this
game,
one.
that will miss. I am a big time. I want the sun to set early guy. Like
I disagree. Oh, wow, okay.
if it were up to me, the sun would set at like 5 every night.
What?
Like, year round.
That's a hot
absurd.
take. That's a really hot take, Tyler.
I mean, I love fall. That's my favorite season. But like, I can't. 5 is too early.
I will miss outside. I mean, like it depends. I don't know.
Well,
I do like a cookout. I do.
big barbecue guy.
I don't mind a cookout. I can get behind a cookout, but I don't know. It's just sports-wise. I love night games so much, like to an irrational degree. I just love the sun to set earlier. This sit on the ground to third, a chance for 2 again. You've got to be kidding me. You've got to be kidding me.
God.
That's the 4th of the night for the Giants.
This is unreal, and that one I think is the first time that the third baseman for the Giants
Martin
has
got
gotten
involved.
Yeah, Martin getting in on the fun. Wow.
Liam Deal has the biggest smile I've
Hey,
seen all year on his face.
I know it's been easy to predict, but I will say I predicted that.
You could say there's luck. But, I mean, he has consistently given up ground balls with a runner
Right.
on first base.
I'm not calling it luck. I mean, this is a skill. Getting this amount of ground balls, turning double plays as a pitcher.
It's happened enough times where it can't just be a coincidence.
It's pitching to contact. It's getting ground balls.
It's just good baseball.
Wow. I've never seen anything like this, though. This is wild.
They will score that as 5-4-3. Again, the first time that Martin has gotten involved in the action tonight. Double play-wise, at least. 4th of this game for the Giants. This is on the ground, a comebacker, and Deal will do it himself. 6 strong innings from Liam Deal. And we will step away here on the Giants. Tanner Wiesendize at the dish after he kind of got skipped over there on that last double play. I mean, the Giants have turned, 4 of them tonight?
I believe it's 5.
Is it 5?
1, 2. It's a lot. Let's see.
I believe it's
4.
at
Yeah,
the
you're right.
moment. We can always hope for more.
I mean, I would not rule it out.
We're getting there. I mean, we're getting up high. I looked it up. The MLB record in a game is 7 double plays.
That's insane.
Yeah, so I mean, the Giants are getting in that territory here.
Wiesendize down the line, just foul.
The first baseman, Pokarak, a little collision with the first base umpire. Watch out.
Yeah, that ball was smoked.
Oh, yeah.
Let me take a look at Deal's pitch count. Well, it doesn't say, of course, right now. There's a strike to Wiesendize. It's 1-2.
Fetterman has been really good out of the pen for the Braves. Giants haven't really made a lot of noise since he's walked into this game.
2-2. Inside. So again, Liam Deal has faced 20 batters through 6, and he's given up 5 hits and 2 walks. This is hit on the ground to short. The throw from Laskovsky's perfect for the first out. But I don't think I've seen a stat line like that. I mean, that's pretty funny. He is on 6 innings, again, 5 hits, 2 walks, and has not had a single man left on.
Mm-hmm.
It's just very odd. I mean, 2 have brought around the score. That will miss outside to Lackey. Broken bat again by Lackey. Second time he's done that tonight. And as he's up here, Daniel Harrington. Daniel, what do you think of this Giants infield turning all these double plays? Have you seen anything like it?
No, but I think I'm going to go to Wendy's and get a 4 for 4 after this.
Yep,
4 double plays.
And counting.
Yeah, and counting.
So, Daniel, so many D names. I have a crazy stat for you here tonight. The Braves have scored twice, and Deal has given up 5 hits, 2 walks. There has not been a single Brave left on base tonight.
That's unreal.
You've got the double
to the
plays,
defense.
the 2 runs that came in, and then also a caught stealing.
I forgot about that. Shout out Barham White behind the plate.
Yep, shout out Barham White. Well, Daniel, thanks for joining us for a quick word as you brought
I
up
will
our
be back.
food.
I will be back later on.
I'm sure everybody's joining the broadcast tonight. We're still not late in the year enough, I think, to start getting players up here, but it will be happening at some point on the Giants broadcast network.
It was fun last year when we did it. It was a blast.
It was different last year, though, I think, because, when we started having guys in the booth, when we started having, Bryce Demery, I think
that was after
the
that
star.
Braves game, right?
I was after game 1. That was during game 2. But, I mean, that was when the season was kind of over. You got to remember, if the Giants can win tonight and if they can win again tomorrow, they would match their season total of wins last year.
We're about halfway through. I mean, this is incredible stuff.
They were 12-24. Powell down the line, that's going to hook foul. But they were 12-24 last year. They've got 10 wins already through 16 games this year. So, it's just a different vibe. I mean, it seems like every time we come to the ballpark, the Giants are playing for first place in the division. So it's kind of odd, to have players up here just kind of go figure out. It's still going to happen. Don't get me wrong. And especially once we know these guys better. But it's a nice change. It's a welcome change. Powell will foul that one off again. A lot of respect for the performance put forth by Fetterman tonight since coming into this game. He has been really good. But he will lose Powell there.
2 outs, and here come the Giants again. Last inning they got a 2-out hit. They weren't able to do anything with it, but Let's see here now with the top of the order in line to hit, if they can get Powell around to score.
It sounds to me like A.J. Martin has his own little fan section. Swing and miss.
I mean, I'd be a part of the A.J. Martin fan club too.
Yeah,
After that grand slam.
He's been really good. And that was an all-time interview after, David, I know you weren't there. I'll summarize. He essentially, when asked what happened on that pitch. That's hit in the right. Story's going to have to wait. Martin delivers again.
And how good has he been? That's his
He's
second
been
time
so
reaching
good
tonight. And I believe that, quite a lot of hits. Let's see. Yeah, that's now his 9th straight game with a base hit.
That's incredible.
Yeah.
Now, so the thing with Martin was, he was asked, what happened on that pitch. He goes, I don't remember what type of pitch it was, but...
It was a slider, I believe, hanging.
He goes, I got a hanging slider, and I dealt with it. And that was an all-time quote from number 7.
And he did.
He
That's
did.
just the confidence he carries.
Boy, did he. Runner goes to third. Carter, no throw. And here come the 2-out Giants again.
I don't know why Martin wasn't taken off from first. I don't know if that was a missed sign or if that was intentional. Usually, you would send them on a double steal.
He's got his gloves in his hand. Now he's going to go. Timed it up perfectly. Ball put in play. The throw to first is in time. Fetterman, wow.
That is not an easy play to make. Pitchers are athletes, my friends. Had to get down the line. My view was a little obscured, but did he pick that up with the bare hand?
I said wow that was excellent defense from the big pitcher to get down that line, as you said.
Yeah.
And a dot over to first. That saves the run. It's still 5.
Yeah. Okay.
Welcome back here to Criswell Automotive Field. I'm Tyler Lochte. He's David Lewis, and all the way to my left is Sammy Krimstein, who gives a wave.
You guys can't see me. We don't have a webcam on us, but just imagine me waving with a smile.
Deal's still in this game, and he will miss inside.
Yeah, how good has Deal been today?
Oh my gosh.
Has given up some hits and a few walks, but double plays. That's been the name of the game, getting ground balls.
I'm really impressed with him. He will miss there. So it's Jack Pokerak at the dish. He's very dangerous. If Deal can somehow get through the rest of this start without giving up 2 runs, it would be the second quality start by a Giant this year. That will miss outside, now 3-0. So Deal right now, he is currently sitting at 79 pitches. That's not bad.
That's incredible in the 7th inning here.
Yeah.
Wow.
We'll find the zone there. Now, the thing that's interesting about Deal's outing is, he's been kind of hit around a little bit. Again, 5 hits, 2 walks. but he's kept that pitch count low with all the double plays. This is popped up. Right side, running in is Bunch. Dives and makes the catch! Jacob Bunch leaves his feet and doesn't leave empty-handed.
I think the Giants may have to put him in right field a little bit more often now. Look at that.
I think his leg has healed. That was a lot of ground for number 44 to cover. And that is a great sign for Giants fans.
And defense again. Deal's got to be loving this.
He's got as big of a smile as I've seen a pitcher have throughout this start. He's having a lot of fun right now. Sammy, I feel like that's exactly what you said, defense, but that really calms you down as a pitcher. You know you can just focus on getting the ball in the zone. You know your defense has you covered. And with a lead especially, David, that's really important, right? Because that's what you want to see out of him is just pounding the zone, and he's pitching with confidence. He's having fun.
Yeah, and if he gets one more out, that'll be his season long. His current season long is 6 1/3 in that 7-inning final Senators game.
How many runs did he give up in that one?
Believe
It was, 1 earned run, 2 runs total.
Well, then never mind. He already has a quality start. Here's the throw across. Vicente, wow! From the edge of the grass to first base.
That's a great throw.
Play after play, this defense has shown up for their guy on the mound. So again, 2 quality starts for Giants pitching this year. This would be number 3 and the second for Deal, who had the blow-up start against the Aces. Other than that, he has been sensational. A trusted arm.
And you said a trusted arm. For a while, he was the only Giants pitcher to have multiple starts. And we've talked about it a lot. TJ Brockway still figuring out who exactly can be in the rotation for the Giants the long term. And Deal has definitely been one or at least 2 in that conversation.
Here's the 1-1. Just miss low. Now you got Nicholas Carls. He's in that conversation as well. I know it hasn't really been the best year so far for him, but his play last year, I think it speaks for itself. Popped up left side. Then you've got guys like Jackson and Patrick Bauer who have proven that they can start games for you, but have also been great options out of the pen this year. So that's a nice luxury to have if you're TJ Brockway, where you can kind of use them for both. It just depends on what you need in each given week.
Yeah, the interesting thing we saw in Silver Spring last night was Jackson Bauer coming out in the 9th inning, striking out the side, all 3 looking to end that game. His first save of the year.
And he really enjoyed it. I asked him after the game, what's different about that versus making a start? He's like, I can throw as hard as I can.
Yeah.
He had a fun time with it.
Full count will miss high, and that is a 2-out walk for Jaden Colleran.
And I'm really sad because there are already 2 outs. Can't see double play.
Yep.
Our
only hope is...
Can we get a 4-out inning? Can we do that, you think?
Our only hope is to have Barham throw another guy out. But yeah. Let's give you some score updates while we're just hanging around as Vinny Capos will go out to talk to Deal. Let's go to Bethesda first. 4-0 Senators.
That's big for the Giants.
Senators are a good team.
Senators are good, and Big Train, after losing to the Giants in heartbreaking fashion Wednesday, skidding a little bit.
Second time this year, by the way.
Yeah, yes, sir.
A Big Train loss tonight would put them at 7-10.
Wow.
I can't say I have ever expected, especially after last year, they won the league.
Mm-hmm.
I can't say I have expected to ever see that out of them.
And I'll say it's just one of the best things about this league because Big Train, they probably have more Division I talent than any team in this league. I haven't looked at the numbers.
I would argue Aces, but only Aces.
Right. They're the only 2 in that ballpark. The Aces have been the best team in this league. The Big Train, though, they've struggled a little bit. And I think that just goes to show that there isn't that much discrepancy between top JUCO guys, top D2 guys, and then some of these D1 guys. there really isn't too much of a difference, and the parity in this league is just awesome because of that fact.
Yeah, you look at Joe Quelch, one of the best that the Giants have ever had. He wasn't even an NCAA guy, I believe. Didn't he go to Georgia Gwinnett? And will just miss outside. But, you know, time and time again, you'll see guys who will do so well. Like, look at Kleiman, for instance. This is a guy who, you know, was trying to find a permanent school last summer. Does great, goes to Eastern Michigan. He starts for me, hits 350.
Yeah.
This will get away from Barham White. But, you know, that just goes to show it's not necessarily all about, you know, where you go to school. I mean, this is a Giants team that does have more D1 talent than last year, and yes, they are playing better, but I think the guys who are not D1 are helping just as much.
If not more.
Right.
Right, yeah. I mean, I think some of those guys have a chip on their shoulder.
Look at Will Burgess. That's a guy, for instance, that you could kind of look at and say, all right.
Yeah. JUCO guy.
A.J. Martin.
Has been one of the best players on this team. And it's an awesome thing to see that these guys who maybe were passed up by
guys who go to those big schools and then they're trying, you know, things may not have worked out. They're looking for another chance to try to get that big move. And having a big summer in the Cal Ripken League is one way to do that. That's for sure. Foul tip into the glove here by Carter. But that's what makes the Cal Ripken League so cool, is you have a mix of guys from big schools, guys from Clemson, guys from Bama.
Yep.
And I'm just naming guys off of
And then you
Giants.
got guys from Montgomery College.
Yeah.
The mix that's what makes it so special.
This is hit hard. Vizendize will field. Vizendize will throw. No surprises, he will make the play. Defense plays a big role, but Liam Deal will go 7 strong innings.
Year of sports championships. All right.
The first baseman, number 33, Tyler DiMartino.
Tyler DiMartino will stand in. Let's see if he can find a way to get the Giants off on the right foot here in the bottom of the 7th. Now, Sammy, with all this heat, you know, with playing a lot of games now, a lot of sun, and an important stretch here before that little break. Is that one was slow? How important is it for the Giants to get that length that they got out of their starter deal tonight?
Well, it's massive because they've used a lot of pitchers the past few days.
And we'll miss upstairs. Now 3-0 to DiMartino.
I mean, a lot of pitchers past few days. You have one more game left of this, or two more games, excuse me, left of the stretch. So they're going to want guys for those 2 games. And yeah, so getting that lengthy start, 7 innings from Deal, more than really what anyone was asking from him.
3-1 is outside. That's ball 4. That's a leadoff walk for DiMartino, who will walk for the second time tonight. He's now reached in 3 of 4 plate appearances, David. Late arrival, but he hasn't skipped a beat, I think. I think he's just gone right to playing his type of baseball.
Yeah, I mean, I've mentioned it before. He's going to his 3rd D1 school, and while to some that might be a red flag, I think that speaks more to his talent. To, get through these injuries, get through a bunch of different obstacles in the road, and continue to put up big numbers.
Yeah, he started off at West Virginia. Things did not really work out there. So then he goes to Xavier. He finds a great situation, spends 2 summers on the Cape, battling injuries, as you said, David. Now he will take a grad year. He'll take a grad transfer move to Indiana, who is one of the top teams in the Big Ten conference that Sammy Krimstein and I know quite well. That
Yes,
one
sir.
is down low.
Yeah, I'm certainly excited to see him come over to Evanston, where I go to school.
I think he's
Here in
going to
the
make an
spring?
impact on
Yeah,
that IU team.
he should. I mean, just the experience, and he's a guy who's faced adversity, and that's always a valuable guy to have in a clubhouse.
Absolutely. 2-1. That will miss outside, and now it's 3-1, and you don't want to walk the first 2. But, again, you talk about the adversity that this kid DiMartino has faced, and he has just constantly rose to the challenge each time in each new location. He is, as you said, a late arrival here. He actually played for the Giants way back, at the beginning of his college career. And now, instead of going to the Cape, he has opted to come here.
And
So I think, for him, wow, that's called a ball. That's a walk for Bunch. But, for him, this is his last year of summer ball. I think he might just want to stay close to home. And, the Giants got him ready for college ball. And he's had a great career in college. This is a guy who's hit over 20 homers. Tanner Sanderoff is in the game, by the way. He's in at first. This kid is electrifying, no matter what he's up to. But, yeah, to close it off, just a great story for DiMartino. He's shown up late, but he's been one of the guys in a big way, as you said, interrupting your interview with some high praise for another late arrival in Barham White. And now you got Matthew Best, who's trying to earn an interview after this game. He's reached in all 3 of his plate appearances so far. I'll take that for a strike. I mean, honestly, we might just talk to him anyway, because, you could talk about his fielding in left tonight. It's been great. You could talk about what he's done with the bat, that big 2-run double. Or, excuse me, the single. I read the score sheet wrong, but he scored twice. The base running is there as well with this kid. He's done a lot of things. He's played winning baseball, as have the Giants team.
Yeah, this is a guy that he just contributes in all manner of things. And Sammy mentioned it earlier at the top of the broadcast. He hasn't started in about a week, but he's been a viable defensive replacement for TJ Brockway's squad, especially when they get into these late innings and they want to close the game out.
Gets fooled there on nice pitch low by Fetterman, who has really been good out of the pen. That is his 5th punch out. And now it's Barham White.
Fetterman showing shades of Jay Wandell, who the Giants faced yesterday in Silver Spring against the T-Bolts. When Wandell came into the game for the T-Bolts, he put on a clinic, absolute clinic, only allowing around 3 base runners after he was put in the game across 3 1/3 innings.
0-1 to White, he will take. Now, I don't know which one of you, but one of you earlier was just talking about the production from the bottom of the lineup tonight. And it really has been impressive.
Yeah.
I mean, the Giants, there's no easy out. 1-1. White takes. That's low.
No, the bottom of the order has been a big part of tonight's effort. Barham White with the double back in the third inning. Best has been on 3 out of 4 times. Vicendize, I mean, a great defense, but also a single earlier in the game. Lackey had an RBI.
That's fouled back. So, how about this? The Giants, 4 of the Giants' 5 runs tonight. All of their RBI hits have come from the 7, 8, and 9 spots. The other run coming from Brady Powell's sacrifice fly, which scored Barham White. Two. Good job by White to just get enough of it.
Stays alive.
Looking down below me, I see that Liam Deal has gotten a much deserved cheeseburger. Oh, he's got 2 of them.
Why not?
Yeah, he deserves it. He deserves 9 after that performance.
How about
My
how about 7? 1 for
Yeah,
each inning.
okay, I'll take that. Upstairs. White's working a nice little at bat.
Yeah, I mean, that's what he's been doing. The results haven't quite been there for him in the long run of things, but he's been having good at-bats and timely hitting, right? Driving in runs when the Giants have needed him to.
Swing and miss there, though. Fetterman will get the better of Barham White. Now it's Vicendize's turn, and that's incredible from Fetterman to walk the first 2, punch out the next 2.
Yeah, and Fetterman looked a little shaken, more so than he had been his entire outing here, but he gets right back to business, just pounding the zone with these last few Giants hitters.
Back pick, high, nice play at first by Pokarak. If that gets over his head, you'll see DiMartino take off.
Yeah, you like the idea of the back pick, but that can be risky. If that gets into right field, it's quite the disaster for the Braves.
One Nice take by Vicendize to push it 2-0 now, and again the Giants taking really smart at bats in this game from top to bottom. They had great pitching from their starter Liam Deal. And a swing and miss there by Vicendize. 2-1 pitch. Vicendize takes. That will get the bottom of the zone, and this count is even.
I don't mind that take from Vicendize at all. I mean, we've seen a good portion of Giants hitters tonight get under the ball in unfortunate situations, and I think that would have been one of them had he gone around.
Vicendize has worked this count full. This is a good at-bat. After Barham White took a good one before him. I know it ended in a punch-out, but he saw a lot of pitches. Full count pitch, runners go. Strike 3 is taken by Vicendize. And we will head to the 8th. Expos came back to tie it.
The shortstop, number 3, Jamie Laskowski.
Pinch hitter here for the Braves. And a new pitcher on the mound, Aiden Gonzalez, will stand in.
Gonzalez has been getting a lot of use from these Giants. Already 6 appearances on the year. He came in just to face one batter for a matchup on Wednesday. That was his last time out.
First pitch strike.
And he's a fun one to watch. Side armor from UMBC. Really good stuff. Won't throw super hard, but when he throws from that slot, he doesn't need to.
You're right. He will just miss there.
And he's got the bottom 3 of this Braves order in the top of the 8th. Time for him to lock down and do some business. None of them have reached base yet tonight.
Laskowski will take. It is Laskowski. I don't know what was going on with the PA. It is still Jamie Laskowski. I heard that a different name was said.
Laskowski 0 for 2 today with a pop out and fly out.
Gonzalez will miss low and away there.
And, there's a big difference between the bottom of the orders, the production of these two teams. The Braves, 0 for 6. The Giants, they've seen a plethora of hits from the bottom of their order. 3 tonight.
Well, Scott did get a hit in the 9 spot for the Braves, but Sammy, he was retired on a double play. So he was still out. Yes, I'll give you that. That is a tough pitch to take by Laskowski. He will get the call, and that's a leadoff walk.
27, AJ Labrusciano.
And now it's AJ Labrusciano who will come in. I would assume that he will just play third for Nolan Book.
Yeah, Labrusciano, he started, I believe it was shortstop back on Monday against the Giants. Yeah, it was junior out of Rider University in New Jersey.
So Labrusciano with the runner on first base. Giants trying to turn 2 again. It's in there for a strike. Is it 4 or 5 now? I think it's still 4.
Yeah, it's still 4.
I'll miss outside.
Didn't have the opportunity last inning as the base runner walk was given up when there were 2 outs already.
Runner's gonna go. The throw down. He got him again. Barham White, for the second time tonight, catches a would-be base stealer. And the Giants are content to not even have to hope for the double play.
Haven't they learned their lesson by now? Barham White is
You
just...
don't run on Barham White.
Yeah, it's just an incredible throw. What he does so well, he just puts it on the money. The second baseman, whoever's fielding the tag over there at second, right? They don't have to move a muscle, goes right into their glove, feeds the tag perfectly. That is just golden from Barham White.
White with a fist bump to his dugout. What is going on?
We're not sure exactly what's going on here.
All I know is one thing, and again, that's that you don't try to steal a base when you've got Barham White behind the plate. I'll get to his story after this pitch. Fouled away. So, one of the Giants coaches, Austin Grass, after the injury to Jacob Bunch, sent out a tweet essentially saying, hey, if you're a catcher and you need a summer ball team, let us know. Barham White, all the way down in Louisiana, he told me his coach saw that tweet. He drives all the way up here as this is hit to third, bobbled, but the throw by Martin is still in time. He drives all the way up here from Louisiana, gets in the game, throws out a runner on night one against the Big Train, and one of the coolest wins we could say in Giants history, and he has not stopped ever since. Just a cool story, a really nice guy. He said that he has never been to this part of the U.S. He's
That's
enjoying
awesome.
it for the first time. He is sleeping at Coach Austin Grass's house. Could find a host family for him. I mean, it's deep in the year.
I'm gonna have to ask him whether he likes Cajun seasoning or Old Bay seasoning better.
He'll tell you. There's a strike in there from Gonzalez, but again, the point is that if Bunch doesn't get hurt, and thankfully Bunch is back now, Barham White does not come onto this team. If
Yeah.
that tweet is not sent out,
Now you got both of them in
somehow,
the same
some
lineup
way,
today.
Barham White's coach doesn't see it from Louisiana. He's not here, so
Wow. And it just goes to show you, I mean, it's a lot of things have to happen for all these guys to end up here playing for this team.
And I will say, with his work behind the plate and with his work with his bat, just to look at tonight, where he has probably been the Giants' best player, I would say it has worked out. That will just miss low. But, I mean, those are the types of things that just could not happen to the team last year. It felt like it was a curse, almost. And now the Giants get something like that. Incredible. Ball 4.
Did not miss by much. Not a bad pitch from Aiden Gonzalez.
Yeah, Gonzalez, there 3 pitches in a row that didn't miss by much. Wasn't able to get a swing on miss on any of them by Zach Scott.
So it's the second walk issued by Gonzalez. He does have 2 outs. And right now you just need to throw strikes to Billy Flaherty. Excuse me, that's Quinn Madden.
Another Brave who was here last year coming into the game.
One of the coolest players in the league, just in terms of style. Got the tight pants. He's got the oven mitt in his back pocket. He'll take there.
Yeah, he just plays with a swagger that is fun to watch. I mean, I remember last year he was hitting the ball real well for these Braves.
And he plays a really good center field as well. He'll hit this well and into the net. But, we talked to Dash Tischler, and Dash was saying, just how important the leadership is from the older guys, from the guys who've been here before. Quinn Madden is absolutely another one of those guys. 0-2, Madden will drive it in the air right field. Sanderoff on the run. What can't this guy do? And Gonzalez will hold the lead at 3. We'll head to the bottom of the 8th. Giants bats. Owen Crow on the mound for the Braves after one of the better relief appearances I've seen all year out of Tyler Fetterman.
Yeah, really good stuff. He just kept these Giants intact.
So it is Leighton Lackey at the dish. Defensive substitutions for the Braves. CJ Lubriciano in a third. Quinn Madden at center. That will be popped up foul. 1-1. Going to be interesting to see if they will bat Sander off. A few hitters away, but oh, yep, he's got his helmet on. That comes inside. Did that hit Lackey? No. But it is 2-1. You know, something that we said about Sanderoff during the break is just he's just good at baseball. I mean, he can throw. He's a
ball
lefty.
player. I mean, seriously, he can just anything you want on a baseball field, he's got it.
He's a lefty who's a plus glove in the outfield. He can throw over 90 as a lefty on the mound, and he can hit bombs. I mean, you were saying in BP yesterday, you were seeing him just launching balls. Oh, that comes inside, just misses Lackey again, and this count is full. Well, we talked about how the Big Train are never out of it, and tonight proves that in a big way. Down 4-0, they have a 5 spot in the 7th. Lackey, hard hit, gets throw, Lubriciano. And that's a single, the second of the night for Leighton Lackey.
Yeah, and Lackey having a much needed game. He had been struggling a little bit coming into this one, but I think a 2-hit ball game will definitely serve as a slump buster.
Aces are still up on the T-Bolts, however. That game 3-2. Blood-curdling scream
Yeah.
over yonder as that pitch came in.
Like, did no one else hear that?
Maybe that was the ball lightning.
Oh, the infamous ball lightning from last year.
Couldn't believe my eyes. It's up and in. But yeah, I mean, I don't know how the Big Train always find a way to do it, but
They do it.
it's impressive. That game's headed to the top of the 9th, by the way. So I will keep you updated on if the Senators can come back. Strike there to Brady Powell. Runner on first base is Lackey. He can fly, and he is very aggressive.
You have to be careful here running on the lefty, though, with that pickoff move over to first.
Slow it in.
Lackey has had some base running mistakes, even though his bat has picked up in the past week and a half. I'd say he has had a couple base running mistakes, and he's a very talented ball player, switch hitting guy. Looking forward to seeing more from him.
That's inside, and Powell is really making Owen Crow work for it right now on the mound.
Crow having a tough time out of the bullpen finding the zone. Lackey got a hit off him. Now he's on the verge of maybe walking Powell.
Oh, that is fouled off with a helmet. It's a new catcher. There was no announcement for it. That is Sean Pokerak, the brother of Jack Pokerak, who takes Jaden Carter's spot. Well, again, another thing that Dash Tischler told us was that this is a really, really deep catching unit. As their coach tries to get everybody time. Up high, great AB, and a nice walk for Brady Powell.
No hits tonight for Powell, but his last two ABs, both walks, and both really good at-bats.
So now it's A.J. Martin. He is 1 for 3 with a walk tonight. Two on and nobody out, and a big chance for the Giants to add insurance before the top of the ninth. That is up high. I don't know if you need to steal here if you're Gaithersburg. I know you got two guys that have a lot of speed out there right now, but you know, the way that this team has been taking ABs, the way that this team has been swinging the bat, I don't know if there's a need to force the issue. That's inside 2-0. You definitely don't go now.
And this is a spot where the Giants can get some much-needed insurance and really put this game away.
And on that first pitch, Martin squared to bunt before it was put upstairs. And that one, he didn't even square to bunt. That one was just thrown inside. Now a meeting with the Braves staff.
Next, Martzoff is in for the big train, and what a surprise. He has thrown 5 pitches, all strikes, and he's gotten it out. I still can't believe what the Giants were able to do to him in the 9th inning here at Criswell. And, you know, talking to the coaching staff, the amount of respect that the Giants have just in terms of the ability that that guy has for the big train, I mean, he's unreal. So, Senators, let's just say they've got their work cut out for them.
Yeah.
Here in the 9th.
That's really tough against the big train, being up big like that and
you talk
losing it
about
all.
you talk about a big time win for the big train if they could find a way back, by the way, or if they can hang on at this point. I mean, it would have been 7-10. Strike bunt is Martin. That gets away. Runners are gonna go. No throw.
Tyler, I mean, 7-10 and 8-9 are two very different things.
Especially when the
Huge.
Giants could go 11-6 tonight. You don't want to be 7-10. Remember, the Giants also have the regular season series over them. Yeah, I mean, that would have been a tough loss to the Senators tonight. Big train find a way. And that's ball 4. What an AB for Martin, who did not take the bat off his shoulder. He didn't force anything there. And they're loaded.
And if you find a way, if you're the Giants, to not score a run here, that serves as massive momentum for the Braves. So
That's true.
you just, it doesn't need to be all of the guys, but you just scratch 1 or 2 across. That is, I think, needed for the Giants right here.
Kleiman looking to provide some insurance. He'll take strike 1.
Kleiman hitless tonight. He walked his first time up, but bat has been quiet for the DH tonight for the Giants.
Now would be a good time for his bat to wake up. On this high note, again, he did walk back in the first. Then a punch out in the 3rd, double play in the 4th, ground out to the pitcher in the 6th. And that left 2 on. Time it takes, that's a strike. That actually left 2 in scoring position, that play. So Kleiman tonight is looking to avoid that fate again if he's punched out here. It comes inside on him. Giants dugout has become one of the more noisy ones in this league.
Yeah, and that's a sign of this team meshing together as a unit.
They support their guys here at Criswell, that's for sure. Kleiman, a rip it foul. A lot of cheers.
Good AB battling him up here.
That's a tough pitch to foul off at 73 high in the zone. That's a big-time change of pace from Crow. And for Kleiman to get enough of it, it's well done. Two. Inside on Kleiman. This is a full count.
Yeah, good take. Hopped out of the way of an inside fastball right there. And this is another great at-bat. The Giants piecing together some long, quality ABs.
The 3rd full count, and just 4 batters faced.
The pitch. Inside, ball 4. Kleiman's going to walk in a run. Much needed insurance for the Giants, and the parade will continue.
And that might be the worst feeling as a pitcher. Walking in a run, especially when 2 of the guys on base are courtesy of the base on balls.
That's the 3rd consecutive walk
Yeah.
issued by Crow. And now you have a guy in DiMartino who
Cleanup
can
batter, yeah.
absolutely break this game wide open. He will take a strike. Big Train have won their game. Pressure on for the Giants to keep that gap in between them. DiMartino takes, that's a ball, and it's 1-1. Aces have added an insurance run. They lead 4-2. Again, the Grays beating the Crop Dusters earlier today in a game that greatly helps the Giants. 1-1 upstairs. Two one to DiMartino. Upstairs.
And he's now a pitch away from walking in a second run and a 4th consecutive batter. And not what you want as a pitcher coming into the game.
A ball here would be another run. The pitch. It's a strike. And that was a 50-50 pitch. So full count, nobody out. Big pitch here to DiMartino. Inside, ball 4, and the Giants will walk in another.
And as tough as this is for the pitcher, it's tougher for all the guys standing out there in the field because they haven't seen action in now 5 batters. I mean, the last ball in play was the 9-hole hitter Lackey getting a single. We are now at the 5-hole in the lineup. So it's tough to keep your focus. So now if the Giants do start putting the ball in play, we could see some errors from this Braves team. Importantly, I mean, now a 5-run lead for the Giants. I might have to.
That's
Right fielder number 2, Tanner Sandoval.
This is a cool spot for Tanner Sanderoff, who has more than earned this AB, I'd say, with his performances on the mound. And he's shown what he can do in right field already tonight. He's got him loaded with nobody out.
Yeah, it's a cool spot for Sanderoff, but it, I would say, is the toughest spot for the new pitcher, Lars Greenlee. I mean, you inherit 3 runners and no outs.
I can't say I'm jealous of that predicament, to say the least.
Yeah, it's about the worst situation you could walk into.
I
I mean, by definition, it is.
it's the worst. Because if you can't find the zone, that's another run.
Hey, but for him at least, as long as he doesn't allow any more base runners, none of this is going on his ERA.
I guess that is true.
It's a silver lining, maybe.
He does have the benefit of getting an out at every base. Sanderoff takes, that's a strike. But it's funny because, Sanderoff has been synonymous with late game heroics this year, with game-winning play. And he has the chance to do that on the other side of the ball right now. Can he deliver? 2-1. Sanderoff takes, that's a strike. He's got to be a hitter now with 2 strikes.
I mean, a lot of ways for him to drive in a run here. Infield playing up, so a ground ball that gets through should score 1, maybe 2.
Take a walk, though. 2-2. Sanderoff pops it up. Left side. That's shallow. It's caught. An unbelievable catch. The throw home bounces away. So Sanderoff will still drive in a run on a sacrifice fly.
Hey, that'll get the job done. 2-strike hitting. Has to expand the zone a little bit.
Yeah,
Actually,
you'll
a
take
lot.
that.
That ball's in the dirt. And he still gets a piece, drives it the other way.
I don't
Gets a
know
run.
how he got to that, but he did, and he gets a run home. That's big time from Sanderoff. And how about the wheels from Martin, by
Yeah.
the way, to get home from third on that? That was not hit very far.
He had to be on his horse right there.
Calera with an unreal catch. Should not be lost. And the score. That was a great play and honestly a really good throw as well. So that will score Martin. Runners on the corners now. Climbing over to third. That will miss outside. So Matt Best, who has had a really good night. He is now 2 for 3. He's got a walk as well. Popped it up and out of play.
Is that over the net?
I think it is. It's on the soccer field. Nobody's out there, though. So the thing about this is if the Giants can just find, a way to, not to get greedy, but if Best can find a way to get a ball into the outfield, David, that's another run. It's 9-2.
Yeah, I mean, I was going to say earlier when you talked about the scores around the league, kind of a low-scoring night, but the Giants proved me wrong here.
And again, the fact that it's coming late is so big,
Yeah.
to add on.
Now you feel like you could really breathe easy in the 9th inning.
Right.
Although considering the crazy game the Braves had yesterday, I wouldn't rule anything out.
That's in the dirt. Smart by DiMartino to go, and he is in there. So second and third down. And now a base hit by Best. Depending on whether Coach Austin Grass wants to send DiMartino or not, I mean, I think you could be conservative here with a
Yeah, no need to run
8-2
into
game.
outs.
Because remember, a sacrifice fly could bring him home from third. But base knock would do a lot of damage, let's say that. Best takes low instead. So it's Barham White on deck. I'm going to be interested to see who the Giants pitch here. I think it's an opportunity to try to throw somebody who, may not have gotten as many innings this year. It's a rare low leverage spot to try to see what you have in the pen, I think.
Yeah, I mentioned it last night, mainly in the ninth inning in closing situations. It's been wide out.
This is hit hard into center. That'll fall in. DiMartino will stop at third, but it's an RBI single for Matt Best. What a night for him.
Yeah, that's now 3 hits and a walk. 3 for 4 on the evening. Gets an RBI as well.
I think we might have another guy to talk to. But again, for Best tonight, defense has been there. Base running has really been there. We got to talk to him about that. And what he's done with the bat. You can also
really
maybe
impressive.
get his take on Deal. He didn't really have a busy night. I mean, the ball's just stayed in the infield. This is hit high in the air to center by White. That'll be caught by Madden. DiMartino will tag. The throw is cut off, and it's 10-2. Great job by the Giants to maximize here in the 8th.
Well, they were shut down for a few innings there when Fetterman was on the mound, and then this 9th inning they get some new arms and pounce. They've now put up 5, matching their game-long total here just in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Now it's Tanner Vicendize. This is a dangerous hitter. Matt Best on first base. That will fall in. It's just nice to come to the ballpark, with all the crazy games that we have called lately. You think of the Aces,
to breathe
you
a
think of
little
the Big
bit.
Train, right. Giants will kind of take it easy with this big 8th inning. I mean, it was already 5-2, and with how the Giants' pen has been this year, you're confident there. But now, you can really kind of relax and just enjoy what has been a great performance all around. Vicendize will foul that back.
I mean, how about the pitching again? I mean, Deal.
Incredible.
Just so good. I mean, it has really been a strong suit of the Giants this year. I think that speaks to what has been a more veteran staff this year. A lot of guys returning from last year's staff.
2-1. There's a strike. So the Giants' first 5 hitters of this inning got on. 1 by way of the single, then 4 in a row with walks, and they scored all of them. That is huge. You're given 4 free passes, and the Giants absolutely punished the Braves for it.
Really, yeah, they
and
really
that's
do.
what good teams do.
Yep. Good teams don't let you get away with mistakes, and Giants have been a good team, and they're not letting the Braves here get away.
Full count. Hit foul.
Man,
Best
these
will have to run
at-bats.
back.
These
Yeah.
at-bats, so good. I mean,
Well, the thing with the Giants is quickly becoming, they're one of those teams now up there with the Aces or the Big Train that you cannot make a mistake against because
Right.
they're going to punish you. And with the pen that they have, and by the way, errorless baseball tonight, another thing that you could talk to TJ Brockway about. Errorless baseball, by the way, by both teams. So credit to the Braves for that as well. Double plays. I mean, it's just been all around great baseball tonight. Full count. Vicendize takes ball 4. And the Giants will bat around here in the bottom of the 8th. That is their 5th walk.
wow.
So now it's Leighton Lackey. So the Giants looking for even more as Lackey, who got us started with a really nice single.
Yep. And really, that one
Not again.
single kind of rattled the first pitcher here in this inning. He walked 4 straight, and the Giants have just been doing damage since.
Taken high. 1-1. Lackey swings and misses. I hear somebody warming up out there in the pen.
We can't see him, though.
At first I was thinking maybe they take Sanderoff out of right and just have him pitch, but
No need.
no, absolutely not. And how big is that to have him available tomorrow, by the way?
It's huge.
That will miss 2-2. Giants play tomorrow. That game, by the way, moved to 7 p.m. from 5 p.m. against the Crop Dusters, which you talk about a big game. Crop Dusters who lost today, a big opportunity as they are in second in the North. 2-2 pitch. Lackey checks his swing. He did not go around, and it's another full count.
Yeah, tomorrow will be a big game for the Giants, and having Sanderoff available, having a lot of pitching available. I mean, they'll have a lot of guys thanks to Deal giving them 7 tonight. It's massive as they look forward.
The Giants are looking for their 6th win in 7 games tonight. Full count. Lackey swings and misses. And we will head to the bottom of the 9th. Braves need 8 runs. Giants need 3 outs when we back now. Well, you know, it's a good night when you got Daniel Harrington up in the booth once.
Oh, yeah.
It's a great night when you got him up here for a second time. Daniel, welcome back.
Thank you, thank you.
You know, a lot of games, especially the ones at Criswell, have really been Giants by the skin of their teeth. Not tonight. How about the Giants adding 5 there late in the game of insurance?
That was nice. I mean, I started working on the final score graphic, and of course we put up 5 more runs.
Right.
And now I got to change it again, so.
I feel like you can't really complain too much about that as
No, I
catcher
can't.
Halligan will stand in. Now, we've got Noah Tabai on the mound, and it seems like TJ Brockway is just trying to get him going. Now, his stuff is really good. Daniel, we saw that last year.
Yes, and his, when did he throw? Against the,
Let's see, it was Monday against the Braves. I believe.
yeah, he threw very well.
Oh, yeah, he was. Sammy,
he was
we were
good.
there. He was very good.
Yeah, no hits, only 1 walk, no 1 runs, and let's see, 1.1 innings of work.
Swing and miss there on Halligan. But, again, you know, we've been monitoring the scores around the league, and I know the Big Train did win, but the team the Giants are most concerned about right now is the team right behind them, the Crop Dusters, who did lose today. A Giant win tonight would put them up 2 games clear in the division as that's ripped foul.
And a big game tomorrow.
Oh, yeah. Giants can go 3 games up on the Crop Dusters tomorrow. They got the big train coming to Criswell some point soon, I believe.
In the next week.
Yeah. So that game, well, never mind. It's not for a little bit. Giants will go
We
to
go
the
back
big
there.
train on the 29th.
They steal all of our home games.
Right. So 1-2 count here for catcher Halligan, a guy who's been around this Cal Ripken League almost as long as you have, Daniel. You've seen a lot of Giants baseball. Where does this team rank up there with it? Well,
gotta-
first of all, before I ask you that, what was your first year? Wow.
How long?
First year was I was in 5th grade,
Man, that's
going into middle school. So that
And you are in what?
I
Your
will,
senior year?
I will be going to be a senior in Indiana. So
Wow.
it's been a long time. And I've seen a
Folks.
lot of players. I've seen some MLB guys. I've seen.
I don't think anybody has watched more Giants baseball than the
This
guy
is
we've
Mr.
got in the
Giant
booth
right here.
now.
Yeah.
Wow.
But I would say this team ranks up very, very high.
I know it's early, but
It's still early, but I mean.
they
when
have
you
a lot of things
When you
going.
have pitching and you know you can bring in guys that you can trust, and you have a defense that can back you up, and we have guys that can just strike them out, throw them out. Shout out Barham White behind the plate. I genuinely think I've never seen a guy with a better arm behind the plate.
So
And when you can hit, you can hit.
we were talking about Barham White earlier, and I think that I've seen maybe 8 or 9 guys go on an attempt where there was a throw. As that will miss. That's ball 4. I don't think I've seen anybody get in safely. On
Yeah.
White. I really,
think
I
one
don't.
guy has. I think he's 9 for 10
Okay.
catching guys. So he's got a 90% caught stealing rate. And that's just off my
But
head. I don't know.
for
if it's
that,
actually-
did he throw?
I don't remember.
Like maybe
I don't
he
know. It
just.
could have been a bad pitch. Could have been just he ate it.
You know what I remember is
Now
I
it's a
think
defensive indifference if this guy runs. So.
against the big train. I remember a guy went, but Danny Sheeler didn't call it. So and there was no throw. So I think that is the only time that an opponent has stolen the base on him. So
And that
every
was his
time
first
he
game
has
of the
thrown,
year. It was
right.
His first game of the year with a 19-hour car drive. So.
And I think he threw out a base runner later in that inning, if
the
not the
base.
same guy. 1-0. That one missed down low. It's 1-1. Excuse me, 2-0. My bad. I don't know what. It's been a long night. It's
It's been
a
a
hot
long
night.
last 3 games,
Yeah.
but for good reason.
Tomorrow will be David Lewis and I here in the booth. Let's fell back. It's nice to have this little 3-man rotation
Oh, yeah.
here. We get a little bit of off days. We can kind of take our time working on highlights and stuff, or we could just have all 3 of us up here and
And then have
Yes.
Daniel in. You
yeah,
can
have
go
Daniel
full
up
crew,
here
yeah.
if a game's going well.
Sure is tonight.
Not a bad setup at all. What a pitch by Tobias. He will just find the outside of the zone there at 85. The LIU Shark, he did pitch in the NCAA tournament this year. That's always cool to see guys with that experience. It's popped up and foul. I was talking to Matt Best today in left, and he was telling me how his UMBC Retrievers, they were just 1 game away. And just how much, that could mean to, the schools where it's that automatic bid where you have to win your tournament, where your tournament starts a lot earlier than most other teams.
Yeah.
He's just saying, let's knock back on the door. Then you think back to the Giants team last year where they didn't make the playoffs. Playoff baseball is a lot of fun.
Yeah. Oh, it is the best postseason sport at any level.
I'd have to agree. That's hit hard in the right. That'll fall in. That is a base hit for Pokarak. Pokarak will stop at first. No need to risk getting thrown out. And now there's 2 on here in the 9th. And Daniel, how important is that insurance now?
Massive, because if we didn't get one, now the tying runs at the plate. So we have a good leeway
Yeah.
here. But I mean, it keeps going this way. I might be leaning to you just because I'm a superstitious person. So.
Well, you got a guy in right field, if it gets dicey at all, that you can just put on the mound and not really have to worry anymore. How about him, by the way, coming through with the sacrifice fly? This is popped up. This is what you want. Who's got it? DiMartino. He's caught it with A little bit harder than it may have originally appeared to be, but that's a nice play by DiMartino. And Parham White laughing at him.
Hey, that's tough. I mean, fighting the lights.
It's not the easiest thing for a first baseman to do. I mean, their glove is not really built to catch pop outs, is it? It's built to scoop balls up off the dirt.
That's my soon-to-be Indiana Hoosier right there.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh, right, yeah.
How about the representation up here in the booth right now?
Big Ten. No one cares about the ACC.
Whole
And,
bunch,
and Big Ten and David.
whole bunch of recently good college football teams, and then also Maryland and Syracuse.
Hey, no, Syracuse is on the rise. I don't want to hear none of that.
Maryland
Oh,
has
without
won
Kyle
3
McCord,
straight
yeah.
bowl games, I will say. And for Indiana, you weren't there yet the year that Penix dove for the goal line, were you?
No, and I was actually talking
He was
with
short.
I was talking with our trainer
Wow.
Zach, and I was like, we were talking about Penix earlier, and he's like, "Oh, I hate that guy." I was like, "Oh, I forgot you went to Penn State." I was like, He was like, "No, he was clearly out of bounds."
Yeah.
Yeah, it's such an odd play, right? Because, you know, how was he received, like, at Indiana? Like, is he an Indiana legend? I mean, that was one of the greatest plays in the history of your program, and then he gets hurt a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, the problem was that my freshman and sophomore year, my freshman year, he tore his ACL again, so he rarely got to. You even got to see anything of him. Then he goes to Washington sophomore year, and you're like, okay, he's balling out now. We failed him. And then he balls out this year, and I'm like, okay, I want nothing but the best for this guy. So I hope he succeeds and does a lot of good things. But I mean, Washington took our offensive coordinator when we were good in that COVID year, and DeBoer's now at Bama. So
That was a really fun Indiana team. I
Yeah.
remember watching that game against Ohio
oh,
State.
I thought they were gonna pull through. I really did.
We need to start making a chart like the Phillies do of just stuff that's discussed on the broadcast. The 2020 Indiana-Ohio State game is
Add it to the
probably
list. Add it
as
to the
out
list.
there as it gets. As, of course, the Orioles give up a 3-run homer and are now losing. That's great.
Oh, you can't lose to the Astros.
I know, they're not very
With a
good.
rookie.
Well, speaking of homers, that's hit well in the air. I tried to jinx it, and I have. That'll stay in. Best will throw it in, and there's a run home. Catcher Halligan on a sacrifice fly. We'll make this 10-3.
One more for the Giants here. Get the job done.
I'd like to give a shout out. Tomorrow is the Mana Food Drive from 10 to 12. If you are in the area, we will be at the Krabs Branch Giant, the Flower Hill Giant, and the Goshen Crossing Giant. We love donations. It's for a good cause, and you'll get to meet some of the players. And me. I will be at the Flower Hill Giant with Casey Gibbs, Colin Gibbs, a few other guys. So
Oh, you got to go just for the Gibbs brothers alone.
You got to go just for Daniel Harrington.
AJ Martin will be there. DiMartino was.
It's bobbled away by A.J. Martin. You speak of him, and that will get into the outfield. A throw to second. It's a good one. The tag. He's out.
There you go.
Never give up on a play.
Game over.
What a weird ending to this game. Good error, AJ, I guess. That's the first error of this game for either team, and it ends the game. That's a game-winning error for AJ Martin,
Walk-off error.
I guess, in a way. So for everybody who stopped by, for Dash Tischler, for Daniel Harrington, for Sammy Krimstein and David Lewis, I am Tyler Lochte. We'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Giants take it 10-3, and they